Permission to be Powerful is a reader-supported publication. To receive new posts and support my work, consider becoming a free or paid subscriber. Dear Permission to be Powerful reader, the day I snapped. There was a moment, not a metaphorical one, a literal one. Phone in hand, thumb hovering over send. I had a choice, finally speak the truth, or keep swallowing it down. I hit send. The message was simple. Please don't contact me again, I'm done. And just like that, years of resentment collapsed into peace. I stared at the screen, heart pounding like a war drum. And for the first time in my life, I felt like a man. Not just a boy trying to please. Not just someone performing. Not someone scared of being abandoned if he dared to draw a line. A man. With a spine. The aftermath? There were tears, threats, guilt trips, stories twisted, friendships tested, rage, silence, a smear campaign. But you know what else happened? I slept better than I had in years. I walked into rooms taller. I stopped feeling like a victim and started acting like someone who owned his life. And here's what I need you to hear. The day you set a boundary is the day you start telling the truth. Not just to others, but to yourself. This isn't about being mean or cutting people off just because they annoy you. It's about reclaiming your time, your peace, your dignity, your fucking life. Because if you don't protect your energy, someone else will exploit it. This is the law of the jungle. And if you don't know how to set a boundary, the world will keep walking all over you, treating you like a doormat. I've been there. The slow erosion of self, the 1,000 tiny compromises, the dinners I didn't want to go to, the phone calls I didn't want to answer, the fake ha-has in text replies I didn't mean. All of it. Death by 1,000 shoulds. Until one day you wake up and you don't recognize yourself anymore. That's why I built this course. Not because I'm a therapist, not because I have a PhD, but because I've walked the battlefield. I honed my skills by dealing with some truly formidable adversaries. And I survived. I created a system so you don't have to collapse first. So you don't have to wait until you're shaking with rage and resentment to speak up. So you don't have to cry yourself to sleep again after agreeing to something you never wanted. This isn't about being a hard ass. This is about being free. And the path to freedom starts with one word. No. Let me show you how to say it. With calm, conviction, and power that cannot be touched. Because let's be real, most people will not honor your needs until you force them to. We hope they'll just get it. We hope they'll take the hint. We think if we're nice enough, they'll stop. But they don't. Manipulators don't stop until you slam the door. Energy vampires don't quit until you turn off the light. Control freaks don't change until you stop playing their game. You think you're being kind. But what you're actually being is complicit. You're enabling their behavior. You're training them to expect more from you than you're willing to give. This isn't your fault, but it is your responsibility. Let me tell you one more story. I was stuck in a soul-sucking marriage. Emotionally abusive, spiritually draining, financially controlling. Before I decided to leave, I started setting boundaries. One text at a time. One room at a time. One breath at a time. 3 months later, I wasn't out yet. But I was standing up. Speaking clearly. Saying no. Now, I'm free. And I tell you this. You don't need to be a warrior. You just need someone to show you how to start. I'll show you how to start. I'll show you how to finish. I'll show you how to protect what's sacred. Your time, your mind, your soul. It begins now. Good boundaries. Change your entire quality of life. Here are some examples. Your family expects you to attend every holiday event. Without boundaries, you go to all of them, stretched thin. With boundaries, you choose what nourishes you and politely decline the rest. Your date keeps pushing for physical intimacy before you're ready. Without boundaries, you go along out of pressure. With boundaries, you say, I need to move at my own pace. Your employer asks you to stay late. Again. Without boundaries, you say yes, sacrificing your evening. With boundaries, You say, I have plans tonight. I'll get to this first thing tomorrow. A friend invites themselves to crash at your place for the weekend. Without boundaries, you say yes, even though you were craving solitude. With boundaries, you kindly say, I'm keeping this weekend to myself, but I'd love to plan something soon. Sneaky signs. You might have a boundary problem and not know it. Answering work calls during your holiday because they really need you. Saying yes to sex when you feel disconnected or resentful. Getting home from work and hiding in your car because you dread the next request. Staying in one-sided friendships because they're going through a lot. Silencing your truth to keep the vibe good. Feeling exhausted and not sure why. You feel drained after seeing certain people, but blame yourself for being too sensitive. You feel like people take advantage of your time or energy, but you say nothing. You feel secretly resentful toward people you claim to love. You dread getting texts or calls from certain people. You constantly worry how people will react. You agree to things and immediately regret it. You feel responsible for other people's moods, pain, or decisions. You feel guilty for resting or taking time to yourself. You ghost people not because you're cold, but because you don't know how to say no. You secretly fantasize about disappearing for a few months, just to get space. All of these are boundary issues in disguise. Once you learn the fortress method, you start recognizing these traps instantly and exiting them with grace and clarity. This is how your life changes, not just in theory, in actual practical moments. Boundaries aren't abstract, they're lived. Every text you ignore, every no you say, every pause you honor, brick by brick, you build your peace. And once you feel that peace, you'll never want to live without it again. Why boundaries are hard, and why most advice doesn't work. Let's get honest about something. Most boundary advice is trash. Just speak your truth. Say how you feel. Communicate your needs clearly. Okay. And what happens when the other person gaslights you? What happens when you're dealing with someone who weaponizes your vulnerability? What happens when the moment you speak up, you feel like a 5-year-old about to get scolded? Nobody talks about that. And that's exactly why this course exists. Because most people don't struggle with what to say. They struggle with the fear that kicks in the moment they try to say it. Fear of being abandoned. Fear of being rejected. Fear of not being good or kind. These fears are ancient, pre-verbal, wired into our nervous systems. They come from childhood wounds, trauma, generational silence. If your boundaries were punished growing up, you learned to survive by erasing yourself. Now, you smile while someone disrespects you. You say yes while your soul screams no. You replay the conversation 10 times later, wondering why you didn't speak up. Here's the truth. Until your body feels safe, your mouth will stay shut. That's why most communication techniques fall flat. They don't address the root. They don't rewire the nervous system. But the fortress method does. Because it's not about memorizing lines. It's about becoming someone who doesn't need to explain themselves. Why this works, when nothing else has. You've tried being more assertive. You've tried reading scripts online. You've tried deep breathing and grounding and all the things the wellness blogs say. But nothing sticks. Here's why. Most approaches treat boundaries like an external skill. Like it's just a matter of finding the right words. But boundaries aren't a communication problem. They're a self-concept problem. If you don't believe, deep in your bones, that you are worthy of peace, you will always sabotage your own line in the sand. If your nervous system is still wired for survival, people-pleasing, freezing, fawning, over-explaining, your body will override your brain every time. The fortress method works because it rewires the foundation. It works from the inside out. We start with your identity, how you see yourself, your nervous system, how safe you feel when saying no, your energetic field, how others perceive and respond to you. Only then do we get into the words, the scripts, the strategies. Because when your nervous system is calm and your identity is rooted, the right words come naturally. Your tone changes. Your gaze steadies. Your presence becomes unmistakable. People listen to you differently, because you're different. This isn't about becoming cold or hard. It's about becoming unshakable. The fortress method is trauma-informed. spiritually grounded, psychologically precise. It's not about fixing you, it's about restoring you to your original power. Before they taught you it was dangerous to take up space. You don't need another script, you need a new way of being. That's what this course delivers. Introducing the Fortress Method. A 360-degree system for becoming unshakably grounded, energetically sovereign, and immune to emotional manipulation. This isn't theory, this is transformation. Inside, you'll learn how to speak your truth without fear, stop people-pleasing without guilt, navigate manipulation with clarity, stay calm during confrontation, set limits without second-guessing yourself, all without becoming cold, rude, or someone you're not. What you'll learn. Module 1. Claim the throne. Rewire your inner identity from pleaser to protector. Learn the psychology of power dynamics and how to flip them. Use self-honoring language that shuts down manipulative scripts. Module 2. The invisible wall. Build energetic boundaries people feel before you speak. Learn body-based techniques to center, shield, and self-regulate project confidence through tone, posture, and presence alone. Module 3. The sword and the smile. Master boundary language that's clear, kind, and non-negotiable. De-escalate power plays while keeping your integrity. Learn the exact scripts for dealing with narcissists, gaslighters, emotional bulldozers, and subtle manipulators. Module 4. The Aftermath Protocol. Handle the pushback that comes when you finally say no. Detox from toxic dynamics that used to own you. Step into your new normal of peace and personal power. Bonuses. Bonus number 1. The Boundary Vault 20+ copy-paste scripts for everyday situations. From family drama to friend guilt trips to partner conflicts. Monthly updates as real-life cases come in bonus star 2. The Silent Goodbye Framework. How to leave without explanation. What to do when someone refuses to honor your goodbye. Scripts for clean exits and no-contact situations. Bonus number 3. The Self-Parenting Map. Learn how to self-soothe and self-validate after holding the line. Inner child healing that locks your new boundaries in place. Build an internal protector that never abandons you again. The price. For just $197, you get access to the full Fortress Method system, plus all bonuses. Let's be real, that's less than the cost of one therapy session, and what you'll learn here can change your life forever. 30-day guarantee. Try the course, do the work. If you don't feel stronger, clearer, and more protected within 30 days, I'll refund you in full. No questions asked. No weird fine print. I built this because the world needs more people who know how to protect their peace. If it doesn't work for you, you don't pay. Who this is. For this course is for you if you feel like people walk all over you. You say yes when you mean no, and hate yourself later. You're exhausted by drama, manipulation, or guilt. You want to speak clearly and powerfully without conflict. It's not for you. If you're not willing to look inward, you want a quick fix without doing the emotional work. You're okay, staying stuck in cycles that drain you. What happens when you join instant access to the full course portal? Private email support, lifetime access, plus all future updates. You'll start with a short orientation video to set your intention and identify your biggest challenge. Then, we move step by step through each module, building your fortress brick by brick. You'll leave with a new baseline of peace, a toolkit for emotional sovereignty, confidence that cannot be shaken, even by your most difficult relationships. What life looks like, with and without boundaries. Life without boundaries. You wake up already tired. There's a message on your phone that instantly knots your stomach. It's from someone you didn't want to hear from. Again. But you'll reply, because you should. You get dressed, already anticipating the draining conversations, the fake smiles, the time you'll spend doing things you don't want to do. You say yes to things you resent. You agree to meet people you secretly wish would disappear. You rehearse conversations in your head, imagining what you should say but never will. You laugh when things aren't funny. You say it's fine when it's not. You wake up tired, go to bed angry, and in between, your life belongs to everyone but you. It looks normal on the outside. But inside, You feel like a ghost. Your voice is gone. Your power's been leased out. Your energy is a currency everyone spends but no one returns. You can't focus, can't rest, can't create. You're stuck in the trap of over-explaining, over-apologizing, over-accommodating. Eventually, your body starts to speak for you. Fatigue, anxiety, rage you push down until it boils over. And the worst part? You've almost convinced yourself this is just being an adult. But it's not. It's being boundaryless. Life with boundaries. Now imagine this. You wake up with peace. Your phone's not a landmine. You've already cut out the chaos. The people in your life know your rules, and they respect them. You move through the day calmly. When something feels off, you speak. When someone crosses a line, you don't freeze. You act. You say no without panic. You decline invitations with grace. You hold silence when you want to, and speak powerfully when you must. There are no more rehearsals in your head. You're not managing everyone's reactions anymore. You are sovereign. Your time, energy, and focus are yours. You create more. Sleep better. Think clearer. People feel your clarity and either rise to meet it or leave. And you? You're not afraid of that anymore. You don't shrink to fit. You stand where you are. And the world meets you differently because you are different. Your move. There are moments that split your life in two. Before the boundary. After the boundary. You already know what it feels like to live without them. Try the other way. Click below to get instant access for just $197. Editor's note. Read me first. This is not a live course, not yet. This is me testing out a draft sales page right here, with you, my early readers and ride or die crew. I'm writing this as if the course already exists, because I want to feel into the offer, test your response, and decide whether to build it. So if you upgrade today, you're supporting the creation of the course, not buying a finished product. That means no login yet, no videos yet. Just me, in real time, building something powerful if there's enough demand. You get to be a part of the creation process. I'm hoping that I can get 3 people who want to back my little venture. The retail price for the course will be $197. However, annual VIP membership is just $80 per year. So, you're technically going to be getting a 60% discount by upgrading to VIP. If that feels good to you, awesome. If not, no stress. Just enjoy the ride. Until next time, Anton Dancer, writer, Buddhist. Permission to be Powerful is a reader-supported publication. To receive new posts and support my work, consider becoming a free or paid subscriber.